Hey guys, what are you guys wearing? Watching the video? What time of day do you guys watch videos? Curious questions I come up with. Anyways, today I am going to wear Black Rain by Rainier Perfumes. Pretty popular on social media. If you guys are on the IG, this one's pretty popular. I don't know if it's well covered. I'm sure it is on here. I know of one reviewer I mentioned in my first video of them that has brought it to attention, and I will in the reviews. Today, I have 5 wearings on this one too. Chypre Siam by Rogue Perfumery. Stay tuned. I'm branded with therapeutic fragrance. Stay tuned for the review. Hey guys, of course, naturally, I wanted to, and this is major props from Wafts on the Loft. That's as soon as they did their review on Chypre Siam, I went and I'm like, that day it was released, I went and ordered blind bottom, like the way they were raving around over. I'm into real, I've been chasing down the Mitsuko Guerlain Heritage, and they related this to that. So I'm like, okay, I have to put my nose on that. And I got it right away. It was pretty quick shipping. Of course, I wanted to review this right away. And I'm like, this is too good. Actually, at first wearing, I was like, oh, this is okay. This is what a Chypre is. And, I get what oakmoss is, and I get bergamot, and I get all that. And I smelled a lot of Chypres. I'm like, this is like vintage Chypre. Wear it again, and I'm like getting used to it, all that stuff. And I mean, every time I put it on, better and better. These are currently $70, I think, for 30 ml on his Etsy shop. And they were sold out. So my first thing, hey man, are you reformulating? I talked to the perfumer. He was nice enough to let me know he is reformulating, but he's only buying better naturals. And the sample I have is the exact thing he's already reformulated. I think he'll have launched by the time I get this uploaded. So you guys know that information, that he'll keep the same stuff. He'll only buy better ingredients, is his thinking behind everything. He's a non-IFRA company. He flat out states that. Another mission statement he has is recreating old perfumes that aren't available, like the classic Chypre that we're all used to. That's what this is. Color of the juice. I mean, I've seen a lot of Chypres that are white, and you can just tell the goodness of that oakmoss in there. Yummy to me. If you don't like oak moss, you're warned. Let's get right into this. This is old-fashioned goodness at a great price. My family wasn't huge into fragrances, but the men I was around, we lived in a casino town, so friends, dads, whatever, getting ready for work. The more I wore this, the more common. This is the kind of stuff they were putting on. I haven't looked into Old Spice. I know a lot of guys, just because its availability, was into that. I don't know if its original stuff had oak moss or not. I don't know. I just know I've smelt this growing up. I remember men just, I don't know if I smelled their bathrooms or just probably getting ready to work, doing the whole splash aftershave kind of thing. That's what this smells and feels like. Just classic guy fragrance, a Chypre. I mean, very classic. It does it all kind of fragrance. He states this is a copy of the classics. For that, okay, that's what it is. So he's just doing his own twist on it. I'm 100% fine with people doing that. Gave credit where credit's due. I love it. Copy of the classics. Here's your chance, guys, to get a taste, or should I say smell, of real oak moss and all of its glory and what it does in perfumery, why it's a base, why a lot of other naturals don't use it as a base, I don't know of. I get there's just this punchy earthiness to it that takes some getting used to. Even in this, like in my first wearing, and I know oakmoss, not familiar with the fresh opening with oakmoss, because it's fresh and dirty. It's soapy and dirty, soapy and earthy, but not the fake earthy that's so overdone with synthetic patchouli or synthetic oak moss, for that to say. A real oak moss gives levels to the dirtiness that synthetics can't replicate. Like smelling earth, smelling air, you just get different whiffs all the time. It's just not this linear smell. And if you don't like something, you can move away and the smell evolves and changes. That's what oak moss does. It does change over time, melts with your skin chemistry perfectly, in my opinion. If you guys have a Chypre in your collection, chances are you do. Even getting a sample of this, putting it on one arm, putting your modern Chypre on another arm, even Mitsuko, and smelling both, then you guys can judge and see the difference of what more naturals will do for a fragrance and life it'll give to a fragrance. And for like the next 4 hours, smell both constantly, and you can see the synthetic does not evolve much, while this natural one just evolves with skin chemistry. It's a good lesson of natural versus synthetic and the difference. Putting that out there, the sample's worth that alone. If you do have Chypres in your collection to do that, Chypres just get more earth and depth that a synthetic cannot replicate. Fragrance, in my opinion, compared to the perfumer's notes, to a T, this is what it is to a T. It's a Chypre. There's no getting around that. We have a vintage place here in Portland that early Greek turned me on to. They have this classic cologne section of things that aren't sold anymore, and some of these in there smell like this. I wouldn't say they're all natural, but they're just those classic colognes you can't get anywhere. And he was letting me go through and smell a lot of them, and it was this kind of old-fashioned smell that Rogue is going for in these. Again, I get oak moss has an off-putting attribute to it, but it has some sort of charm that just keeps pulling me in and just sitting me down, telling me story after story kind of thing that I just can't get away from on my skin. That's oak moss for me. A Chypre is how I can see it was named after a guy or something. You guys probably know the story better than me, but my point of even bringing this up is I can see how bergamot became one of the most classic citrus openings in fragrances. Overused, in my opinion. There's a lot of great other citruses that are underused. Bergamot, because it's not as off-putting as lime, but yet it's tangier than yuzu. But I don't think it has to be the go-to on everything kind of thing. Here, perfect. This is why bergamot was used in perfumery, was for oak moss's partner. That's why he's using it here. He's recreating that. Perfect pairing. And because of this, I can see why, again, a note becomes popular, sells well. Every perfumer is like, oh, we got to open with a bergamot because that's what people are used to. I can see how that happened because of this classic here. That's my point, being to that. Doesn't need to be. Here it absolutely needs to be. This is the perfect marriage, oak moss and bergamot. You can't get better. It is like the yin and yang, bergamot and oak moss. Just complete opposites that just create that perfect circle, play together, and just let you whirlwind in the wearing together with those. Rogue Perfumery. This is the KISS principle through and through. Keep it simple, stupid. You guys know it. He just went back. He took what companies are letting die out. Okay, IFRA, let's call it IFRA. Let's blame IFRA. But here he's doing it without IFRA. Guys in the UK got it without IFRA. So somehow people are getting around IFRA, and yet all these people are getting stuck with IFRA. But anyways, these companies are letting these for, I don't know, they're blaming IFRA. It seems like they could go put a sub company in another country and give us their original formulations, but they're not. So here we have a guy saying, hey, I want that smell. I want it in my collection. I want to provide it to the world. It is what it is. I'm going to go buy good ingredients and learn them really, really well. That's what this is. Putting it together, giving his little twist on it and making sure it's back on the market for us to try and have in our collections. People that I'm glad for this guy. I want a Chypre in my collection like this at all times. His is now it for me. It's the bar, unless I can get my bottle on one of those vintage ones and not be burned by it. The soapy smell that comes on here. I'm not sure what he's using. He is mixed media. The oak moss does not allow it to become a soap balm on my skin. Plays well with it. You get the bergamot, bright, old-fashioned open with the oak moss. Oak moss plays in the top, heart, and base. It plays in all three phases. It lets every note play off of it, and it tames that soapy, ambroxany, whatever thing, and does not let it come over the top at all. This thing lasts over 12 hours on my skin. It projects its longevity. It's old-fashioned cologne at its best. That's what this is, through and through. All right, score for Chypre Siam by Rogue Perfumery. Addictiveness, 15 out of 15. I couldn't stop smelling it. It's basic Chypre. I couldn't stop smelling it. I couldn't. Originality, because he stated what he's doing, no dock there. Projection and sillage, 5 out of 5. Longevity, 5 out of 5. It's an eau de toilette. It tells you that these guys making EDPs that last 3 or 4 hours. Here's an EDT that lasts 12 hours. Like, we're in a mixed market. Thank God for people like this pushing perfumery. Again, you're hearing this more and more from me. I'm about pushing perfumery and learning composition so we can all push this thing together and just get better perfumes for us. Ingredients, price to ml. I shouldn't rant during scoring. 21 out of 25. Top, heart, and base of the fragrance. Top, 10-10. Heart, 5-5. The base, 7-10. Only because of that ambroxan that was there. You can find a natural to come in and put that in there for me. And it's how my skin reacts to it. But if that could be replaced somehow, we're talking, wow. We have a 91. Collection worthy all day long. Broke the 90 barrier. Few do on my channel. I'm very picky. That's why I didn't review it right away when I got it. Wanted to. I literally have to. If I'm gonna go 90, has to have 5 warnings. That's just where I'm at. Where do I see people wearing this? Signature scent. When do I see people wearing this all year long? Who do I see wearing this? My grandpa. He only wanted one fragrance. He only wore one pair of clothes outside of his work clothes. That's it. He'd only want one fragrance his whole life. This would be it. Definitely see him wearing this one. How many sprays? 3 to 5. All right, guys. Chypre Siam Rogue Perfumery. Peace out. You guys be blessed. Have a good day.